talking, so you can hand this to the ushers. So if you forgot to write a question and you thought of one while Kevin was talking, just jot that down now while we're talking, and then they'll get to the panelists.
What's in a cup of coffee? Water, caffeine, a few phenols, aromatics, antioxidants. When you buy regular coffee, you're buying 8 ounces of taste, ritual, brand loyalty, and productivity. But with fair trade, you're buying something bigger. You're buying freedom.
You've heard some amazing stories and startling statistics about modern-day slavery, and may be feeling overwhelmed. We did too 9 years ago, when we first read about Kevin Bales and modern-day slavery in National Geographic. For us, that article was the first step in a multi-year journey that culminated in a year in the Philippines volunteering with Samaritana, an international justice mission. For me, that article was the seed that grew into a novel on the subject. While you may not be ready to write a book or replot your life's course, all of us can take a few simple steps tomorrow, this week, this month. Here are 4. Buy, donate, learn, and volunteer.
Step 1 is buy. Buying fair trade. What is fair trade? In legal terms, it's a product where the worker is guaranteed a living wage, as certified by a regulatory organization. But in human terms, it's seeing the person on the other end of every transaction.
Shifting how we buy a few key items means minimal lifestyle change for us, yet it can mean transformed lives for the poor. In the last 20 years, we've seen organic go from fringe to mainstream, and if we put our morals where our money is, the same thing could happen with fair trade.
We saw the difference fair trade makes firsthand during our time in Manila, where we volunteered with Samaritana, an inspiring NGO that gets women off the streets and onto a path of dignity and hope. Women there earn money making greeting cards, which are sold here by Good Paper, a fair trade importer based in the city. 2 of the women we knew not only fed their children this way, but also paid for electricity to be connected to their parents' rural home. For a few dollars more than the generic brand, these products helped an entire family. And that, in a sentence, is what fair trade can do. Look for these cards and more in the exhibition hall in a few minutes.
Step 2 is donate. While buying fair trade reduces the supply side of slavery by giving people sustainable work, donating to NGOs helps the victims who didn't have that opportunity. We'll quote just 2 stats to alert you to the power that you may not know that you have. Now, in light of the cost of living here and the Occupy movement, many of us feel worried about money, not wealthy. However, if you make $47,500 in a year, where does that put you worldwide? That's right, the 1%. The second stat is this. About half of the world's population lives on this, $2.50 or less every day. So if all of us merely clean out our cup holders or couch cushions, that money goes a long way when you convert it to baht or ringgit or rupees.
How far does a dollar go in the Philippines? Samaritana can get a woman off the streets, pay for education, counseling, livelihood training, and food for $100 a month. Cost of the data plan. Samaritana has a waiting list, but can't accept more women yet because of funding limitations. As our friend astutely noted, either we can pay for a woman or customers are bent to.
Step 3 is learn. And we commend you for being here, especially if this is your first encounter with slavery and trafficking. We're here ourselves partly due to Kevin's work, and as we found, you can only learn so much before it changes you. But to start, simply posting on Facebook or Twitter helps make slavery part of our cultural conversation, a conversation that most slaves will never be able to join.
Step 4 is volunteer, the hardest step, because time may be our most precious commodity. For us, volunteering came after several years of buying, donating, and learning when it finally felt ethically unavoidable. We never seen ourselves as activists. Laura never imagined she'd get a Fulbright scholarship to write a novel about sex trafficking. And volunteering in Manila for a year, we thought we'd be giving up so much. But that time overseas changed us forever. From being US citizens, we became citizens of the world. And we learned that redemption is possible, even from prostitution, abuse, and rejection. It was the most joyful year of our lives.
Quitting your job, renting out your house, and spending a year abroad may not be for you. But through buying, donating, learning, and volunteering, freedom will come. And there are ways to help for all skills and schedules right here in the Bay Area, as you'll see when you talk to our exhibitors in a few minutes. Abolition in the 19th century took decades, and it may today as well. But now, as then, a better world begins with regular people like you opening your hearts, homes, and wallets for the slave next door.